Hi, golly, I think we're live. And what a wonderful day it is to be alive. Today it's raining, so it's a good day to stay inside. Oh, gotta get my leg crossed. Thank you. It's a good day to stay inside. We are gonna make some popcorn today. This is in conjunction with K&K Crochets. Every year does a Christmas in July. So this is part of hashtag Christmas in July, part of their Christmas extravaganza. And if you know anything about KK, you know that she loves Christmas. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, I am Miss C. I live at Miss C's cottage, the home of the Sun Bunny. I am what I am, and that's all what I am, and that's okay. Let's see, what else do I say? Come in, take your shoes off at the door. It's been a while since I've said all this. Leave your shoes and your worries on the doormat. Come on in. Get yourself a cup of love. No, get yourself a bucket of love. Get yourself a cup of coffee or tea or something cold out of the refrigerator. And um, pick a chair, sit back, relax. Enjoy your time here. Greet old friends, meet new ones. Just don't know who you're going to find. I see Gracie here already this morning, and my cousin Dee is here, and Dania is here today, and of course Leanie is here. She was one of the first ones in today. And there's Marsha Lee, and who was the other one that came in early today? Jeanette. Good morning, Jeanette. First one in this morning. All right, she gets the pick of the chairs then. She gets to pick whichever chair in the circle she wants. Put your feet up, grab your bucket, start filling it with love, because that's what's here. And I am so full of love today for each and every one of you, and I'm thankful that you have come to the cottage. Because there's lots of places, like Mama Swift says, of all the places on the YouTube streets that you could be visiting today, you decided to come here, and that makes me happy. So I hope that I can make you happy today by popping up a little popcorn for Christmas. Now, when I was young, there were 4 of us girls, and there were 6 of us in the family. And my dad was a tool and die maker, and there wasn't always a lot to go around because my daddy liked to bowl. And so he would give my mother an allowance for the week to pay the bills and buy groceries. And then he would keep the rest of the money, and he would uh, go bowling on Friday or Saturday nights. I think Friday night. Excuse me. Anyway, that was his get out of the house of girls. The poor guy. But he could buy himself a couple of beers, and he belonged to a bowling league. So he would bowl. He'd get his time out with the guys, um, and just have a good time. And so the money that he gave my mother, she had to stretch pretty far. It wasn't like we were well, we were poor, but we just didn't know it. We had everything we needed, and we had a little left over for Daddy to play with. Anyway, a lot of times there wasn't a lot left at Christmas time to do the extra special things. So we would pop popcorn. Now, my mother grew up in Indiana on a farm, and her dad and uncles raised Tom Thumb popcorn. And those little cobs were only maybe about maybe about that big, maybe as long as your thumb. That's about it. And my mother would go and visit my grandfather, and come home with a Charles Chips can full of Tom Thumb popcorn on the cob. And every time we went from the kitchen into the living room, we had to stop and take the corn off of one of those cobs. Boy, you could work up a blister on your thumb, I'll tell you. But that was our dinner on Sunday night. We'd go to church in the morning. We'd come home. We'd have fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy and green beans, and big dinner at 1 o'clock, 1:30. And then at supper time, we had popcorn and tomato juice. That was our supper because Mother had cooked a big meal. She was not going to cook another one. We had that every Sunday. And when Christmas came, to put something on the tree, my mother popped popcorn. And we strung popcorn and cranberries and put garlands on the tree. So that's what we're going to do today. When KK asked me if I wanted to participate in hashtag Christmas, well, now what's it called? Christmas in July. I said, yes, of course. And I said, can I make popcorn? And she said, yes, you can, not knowing what the heck I was going to do. So today we are going to make popcorn. So I hope you will grab a hook, grab some yarn. This is a 3-weight yarn and a 4mm hook. I'm going to make some buttered popcorn with yellow yarn and a 4.5mm hook. So if you're ready to start, grab some yarn, and it doesn't make any difference whether you make some speckled popcorn, because you know popcorn's got that brown hulls on it. So, I mean, theoretically, you could make it out of this tweed, would make some really good popcorn. You can make yours out of yellow if you want. Make it buttered, or you can just make it plain popcorn. I am not going to put any cranberries in mine. But basically what we're going to do today, I'm going to get you started, because we're going to start out with a chain, and then we're going to make our popcorn. So if you're ready, you're right, Marshall. We didn't have a whole lot of money, and we didn't have a whole lot of money for extras. And I remember one year, I probably have told you this before, but I remember one year that we had very little. And my father had been out of work, and so we were on public assistance. And that Christmas, the only present that I got that Christmas was a present from the fire department. And they came around on their truck, and one of the firemen, that probably was Chief Barnes, if I remember right, dressed up as Santa Claus and handed out gifts to the kids on Morin Point, which is where I grew up. And that's the only present that I got. Hello, Crafty Terry. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Jennifer's here. Hello, hello. And there's my Mia. And Marlene is here. Hello, hello, sweetheart. You guys snuck in whilst I was talking. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with a slip knot. And this is how I do mine. You can do yours any way you like. I'm going to hold my tail. And I'm going to make 20 chains. All right, that gives me a nice length to tie onto a branch or to hang over a branch to hold up my string of popcorn. Okay, I'm going to chain one more, and then I want to show you this. Let me get a needle here so I can point this out. If you see in this chain, there is 1, 2, and if I flip this over on the back, there's 3. And here you can see all 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. You have to know where these 1, 2, 3 are, okay? Does it show up okay on there? Because we're going to yarn over and go in this top portion of the chain. Pull through a loop. Yarn over, go through a second time, pull through a loop, yarn over and go through a third time through that same portion. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through all of those. Hoo-hoo. I hate when that happens. There we go. Pull through all of those, and we're going to tighten up that portion of the kernel. Okay? Then we're going to turn that over until we get to, you can still see the 3, 1, 2, 3. We've used this one. We're going to go into this back bump. We're going to yarn over, go into the back bump, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up to another loop, and yarn over and pull up the third loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops and cinch it off. Okay? Now we're going to turn this over again, and we're going to pick up the third loop of that chain. We've got the first loop, we've got the back bump, and now we're going to yarn over and pick up this third section of that chain. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. We'll yarn over and pull through all of those chains, all those loops on the hook. Not that one. We're going to cinch it off, and we're going to turn it over again. Back to this first loop, this first portion of the kernel that we made, and we're going to pick up this top stitch where we cinched it off, and we're going to slip stitch in that, and we're going to pull that tight. And you have made your first popcorn kernel. Now we're going to chain 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me pull out some more yarn here. We're going to crochet, or we're going to stitch 1. This does not count. We're going into here. We're going in, yarn over and go in that top loop. Yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3. Yarn over and pull through all of those and cinch it off. We're going to turn this kernel over, and there is our back bump. We're going to yarn over, go through that back bump. Might have to help it. There you go. 1, yarn over, 2, yarn over, and 3. Yarn over and go through all of those. Keep it tight and slip stitch it off. You're a bit lost. Okay, I'm making popcorn. And Zoila is in the house. Yay! All right, and then we're going to flip this over. And here is the third portion of that stitch. So we're going to yarn over. Ah, it's over here. See it here? Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up the second loop, yarn over, pull up the third loop, pull it through, cinch it tight. We're going to turn it over one more time until we find the top slip stitch that we cinched this closed with. And we're going to slip stitch that to this section of the kernel. And then we're going to chain 10. And there you have 2 kernels of popcorn strung on your string. And these 3 bumps make it look like a kernel of popcorn. Oh, Marshally. Hey, Tammy. Huge hug back. All right, let's try it again. We've got 10. You can make them longer if you want to, and maybe with the number 4 yarn. This yarn is just worsted. Whoops, backwards. It's just worsted. How did that get backwards? Let's see what we can do with that. Let's see. I didn't realize it was backwards. Oops. Is that better? Yeah, but we got to turn the phone around. You know that I always have technical difficulties. Well, no. What happened? I guess I have to turn it this way, huh? Is that just yarn? No, it's not. Okay, well, take my word for it. It's just yarn. Okay, from Premier, worsted weight number 4. Well, for goodness sakes, who'd have thought that it would be this much trouble? I don't know why it's. Oh, wait, let me see if I can turn the camera here. I do have some setting options. Okay. There we go. That's better. Okay, It's just yarn. And it's a worsted weight, number 4 in the colorway yellow. Who'd have thunk it, huh? All right, so we started out with 20 stitches. We made a popcorn. We did 10 stitches. We made another popcorn. We did stitches. Now I have to raise this up. Oh, that's not the one. This is the one. I thought I had all these technical difficulties taken care of. Apparently not. This belonging to the cottage. What the heck is going on? All right, we're going to make one more stitch. And in this stitch that we just did, we're going to go take this top portion of this stitch. We're going to yarn over and go through that section of the stitch and pull up a loop. And that's 1, 2, 3. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook. Nice big fat popcorn kernel. Yarn over, pull through all of those 7. Pull it and cinch it. We'll turn this kernel over and we're going to find the back portion, the back bump of that stitch. So we're going to yarn over and go through the back bump of that stitch. 1, yarn over, 2, yarn over, and 3. And we're going to pull that through all of those stitches. Pull it tight and cinch it. Then we're going to turn the kernels over, yarn over, and we're going to find the other side of that same stitch. And we're going to go through 1, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all of those 7, pull tight and cinch it. And we're going to turn our kernel over again and find this first one. And where we cinch the top here, we're going to slip stitch in that. And that brings our kernel together into a nice big fat piece of popcorn. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. Okay, we're just going to continue that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll start our stitch, yarn over, go through that. You can see the top, this top of the stitch comes around behind this one on the needle. Here's the bottom of that stitch, and flip it over, and there's the back bump. We're going to work in all 3 of those sections. Come on. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to do it in this one because it's easier to see than here, and it doesn't really make any difference. There's There you can see them all. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in the top one. Whoops, yarn over. One, 2, 3. Pull through all 7 and cinch it tight. And this is the stitch that we're going to go in when we get around to the third one. We're going to pick up this stitch to pull them all together here at the top. So we've got this one done. We're going to flip it over till we get to that back bump. There's the back bump on this stitch. And here is the back bump on this stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go through that back bump, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a second loop, yarn over, pull up a third loop, yarn over, and go through all of those and cinch it tight. And now you've got 2 kernels on that piece of popcorn, or 2 lumps. Isn't it amazing how steam builds up in those little brown kernels? And when the moisture in the kernel gets heated up, it produces steam and it has to blow off somewhere. So it blows out that hard kernel on the corn, and out pops this beautiful popcorn. We're going to yarn over, and there's the third section of the stitch. So we're going to go in there, yarn over and pull up 1, yarn over, pull up 2, yarn over and pull up 3. And there's our 3 kernels. We're going to turn them over, and we're going to put these together. And remember this stitch right here on the top that I said, be sure you know where this one is, because that's the one we're going in. Well, it's this one that we cinched up. And we're going to slip stitch right through that. And then we're going to chain 10. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what? I'm just going to turn, I'm going to do a 12. Okay, and there's the kernel that we just made. Now, you can put these close together. You can do 20 in between and make your kernel. It depends on how much popcorn you want on your tree. Maisie's here. And Mara's here. Hello, sweetheart. I'm always so comforted when you come in. I don't know, you have such a calm demeanor. I love it when you come in. We get kind of raucous here in the cottage. Everybody's chatting about what's happening in their lives and what projects they're working on, and it sometimes it gets loud. And Mara comes in, and everything just calms down. People are still talking and chatting, but I think the chaos leaves when Mara comes in. I love it. There's Dottie Murphy. Hello, hello, sweetheart. Oh, I'm so glad you stopped by the cottage today. That's what we're doing today. We're making we're making a popcorn garland for the Christmas tree. And like I said, you can make it out of white if you like white popcorn. You can make it out of yellow if you like buttered popcorn. Or if you like No, I don't know what happened to this one. I think I just picked it up and threw it over here, so I don't know whether I can find the end of it or not. Oh, there's one. We'll do it. We'll do her. Because you never can have too much popcorn. Oh, that's not the end. Okay. Well, I know I saw there's an end. Okay. We can do out of this. I'm going to move this up a bit. And I'm going to make a circle. And make my slip knot. Hold the tail. And I'm going to start out with 20 chains. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to do 21. Not use this one. I'm going to go in here. And there's 1, the back bump, and 3. So we're going to yarn over and go in the top stitch. I hope you're following along. And pull up a loop, yarn over, go back in that top stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go back in that top stitch and pull up another loop. And I think I need a bigger hook. And then we're going to go through all of those. And cinch it off. And I'm going to switch to a bigger hook. And I think we're going to go right up to a 5 with this. How about that? Will that work for you? Let's see. Don't be nice big kernels, okay? We're going to yarn over. We're going to turn this first portion over until we get to the back bump. And you can see it right here. This is the back bump for this stitch. So we're going to go in that back bump. And we're going to pull up a loop. Yarn over. Pull up another loop. Yarn over and pull up the third loop. Yarn over and pull through all of them and cinch it off. Then we're going to turn that over. Yarn over, and here is the third portion of that chain stitch. So we're going to go in and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up another loop. Let me get back down here where I belong. Pull through all 3 and cinch it off. And once we've got 1, 2, 3, we're going to flip the whole thing over. And we're going to find the top of this cluster where we cinched it off, right here. Right there. And we're going to go through there. And make a slip stitch. And when we pull this together, we've got a nice piece of popcorn. So then let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. and I'm going to go in this stitch, right here with this back bump. So we're going to go in, yarn over, in the top of that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over a third time and pull up a loop. Yarn over and go through all of them and cinch it off. We're going to turn this over. We're going to yarn over and we're going to find the back bump. Here's the back bump for this one. This is the back bump for this one. So we're going to go right in that back bump, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up the second loop, yarn over, and pull up the third loop. Then we're going to yarn over and go through all three of those and cinch it off. Demi is here. Hello, hello. And my favorite P. Pebbles, we are making, and there's Ellie. Hello, hello, Ellie. We are making popcorn. And we're going to turn this over, yarn over, and we're going to go in this third section of the stitch. And that will be this one because we've turned it over. We've gone through this one, we've gone through the back bump, and now we're going through this one. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to yarn over, go through that third section of the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And we're going to yarn over and pull through all of those, cinch it tight, and slip stitch. When you get this fan with your 3 sections of your kernel, we're going to turn it back over, and we're going to find that stitch at the top of the first section of the kernel that we cinched together, and we're going to slide our needle in there and do a slip stitch into the top of this cinch. And then we're going to do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now look at these kernels. These are humongous. But you know, with that little fleck of brown in there, they kind of look like real popcorn kernels, don't they? Lana Banana, you're not late. We're making popcorn. You're just in time. Oh, Marcia Lee, she'd probably eat them. But you could make these. That would be fun. You know what? These would be fun to make up on a snowy day when the kids, maybe it's raining or snowing and sleeting and you can't go outside. You make up a bunch of popcorn kernels, put them in a bowl, and let the kids have a popcorn fight. But you have to tell them beforehand, if you want to do this popcorn fight, you have to pick them up afterwards. Mia, like this one better? I think this is more realistic. I'm going to make one more kernel here. We've done 12 chains. I'm going to yarn over, and in the second one, we're going to go in that top section of the chain and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a second loop, yarn over and pull up a third loop. Yarn over and pull through all 7 on your hook. Pull it tight and make a slip stitch. Now we're going to turn this over. We're going to yarn over our hook and find this, the back loop. Here is the back loop of this one. Here is the back loop of this one. So we're going to go in that back loop, pull up a loop. Whoops, we don't want to do that. We want to yarn over and pull up a second loop. Yarn over and pull up a third loop. Yarn over and pull through all 7 and cinch it off. So we've got 2 sections to our popcorn kernel. We're going to turn them over again. And we're going to find the top of that, stitch. We've got 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and pull through all of them, cinch it off. We're going to turn it over and find the cinch on the top of this first one and do a slip stitch. Whoops, slip stitch. And then you can make your 12 chains for your next one. And there you've got another popcorn kernel. So whether you do it out of a cream colored or plain white, or you do buttered popcorn, or you do a more realistic kernel with the tweed, the cream tweed, you can make your garland as long as you want it. And this is something that you can sit and watch TV and work on, put it down, skip to the loo, come back, pick it up, do a couple more, get up and get a drink of water or coffee or whatever. Hello, Angela, my angel in the frozen stone. How are you doing today, sweetheart? We're making popcorn. I've got time to make one more kernel if you want. It's basically, I guess you would call it 3 puff stitches together. We started out with a chain of 20 and we made a kernel. We did a chain of 12 and made a kernel, and a chain of 12 and made a kernel. Now I'm going to make another chain of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoops, let me get back here. 9, 10, 11, 12. Good thing you guys already know how to do a chain, huh? All right, so we're going to yarn over. In the second one from the hook, we're going to go in that top section of that chain. There's 1, 2, and 3. This middle one is actually the back bump. So we're going to go in the top section first, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull up the third loop, yarn over and go through all 7 on your hook and cinch it off tight. Then we're going to turn it over so that we get that back bump. This is the back bump. This is the back bump. This is the back bump. So we're going to yarn over and go through that back bump, 1, yarn over 2, yarn over, and 3. Yarn over, go through all 7, and cinch it off. Now we're going to turn these over. Yarn over, and we're going to go in this front loop. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and pull through and cinch it off. Now if you look, you can see where we have gone through the Let me see if I can show this to you. This section here of the chain is this. This section of the chain is this. And in the middle here is the back bump. We've done one right over that back bump. So you've got 3 sections of your chain. 1, 2, 3. You've got 3 sections of your kernel. We're going to pull these together. We're going to slip our needle through where we've cinched it. We're going to yarn over and pull through, slip stitch through that cinch. And there you have another kernel. Isn't that cool? Another kernel of corn, popcorn. You make, I don't know, 10 feet, 20 feet. Rosie, hello, hello. You can make your, oh, what do you call that? What did you call it, Zoila? Oh, excuse me. Garland? No, did you call it a garland? Anyway, you can make your string as long as you want, your string of popcorn. And that way you don't have to pop it and poke the needle through. Now, I would say this. The Dollar Tree has some red beads. So if you wanted to, you could put a red bead in between each of these popcorns. I would probably do a kernel 10, slide a bead on, tie it off, do another 10 or 12, and another kernel. So put a cranberry in between your kernels if you wanted to do that to brighten up your tree. A garland, yes. Thank you. That's okay, Rosie. I was there. You can go back and watch the replay if you want. We did the giraffe's head, and it came out very, very nice. The giraffe came out very, very nice. We don't have the ears on him yet, so but we got his eyes on and we got his snout on, and we're going to have to make the camel part. We didn't do any trim yet, and make his ossicles. But we'll do that Sunday. Today we're making popcorn garlands, and you can make them out of white. You can make them out of buttered popcorn. Sometimes they have yellow popcorn. And this one I made out of tweed indeed, out of the cream colored tweed. And it kind of looks like popcorn kernels with that dark in there. This one got a little burnt, but that's okay. What do you think, guys? I think it turned out pretty good. All right, we've got about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to go over and you get to see what I look like in real life. Whoo, don't be scared today, because it's It's a doozy. But I think you guys just want to see my eyes full of love and my smile on my face. Oh, that's right, Terry. I do remember that too. You could get that in a jar, and I had like teal colored and orange and bright yellow, green popcorn kernels where they dyed them, and you popped them in the corn wasn't always that color, but the kernels on the bottom were that that color. So if you would like to make a popcorn garland for your Christmas tree, this is my contribution to hashtag Christmas in July for K Crochet, because if you know KK, you know that she loves Christmas. She loves Christmas. She could do Christmas all year round. I think the other one that really likes Christmas all year round is Mad Mamie, isn't it? Doesn't she like Christmas too? Anyway, that's my contribution to hashtag Christmas in July. So if you'd like to make one, all you have to do is watch the replay, and you can use a 4mm hook with 3-weight yarn. You can use a 4.5 or a 5mm hook with a 4-weight yarn. You can figure out how big you want your kernels. You can even, if you want to get really, really tricky, because you did it with thread, you could use 3-weight yarn and do your chain, and then throw in a 5mm hook to do your popcorn kernel with your 3-weight yarn, and then go back to your chains in your 4mm hook. Don't make it really complicated. Just make it fun. Just make it fun. That's all you need to do. And because it doesn't curl, and I think I left you. Oh no, I'm back. Okay, so when it comes back, it'll come back. In the meantime, you guys know that I am what I am, and that's all what I am, and I'm okay with that. Can you add lights? I would imagine. I don't know why you couldn't, Zoila. I don't know why you couldn't. You could chain along where the lights aren't, and when you get halfway through, you could make your kernel in between each light if you wanted to. Wow, now I'm going to have to get some fairy lights and try that one. I may have to revise this tutorial. Thank you, Zoila. All right, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left. You know what that means. We get out the little black book and we ask if anyone needs prayer. So today is July the 2nd. When I was teaching at Ben Franklin Crafts, I took a light turquoise short sleeve shirt, and I took pearlescent paint, and I painted a huge tooth on the front of the shirt, and I would wear it on the tooth of each month. And people used to shake their heads. Some of them laughed, some of them got it and shook and laughed, and some of them got it and shook their heads, and some of them didn't get it, but that's okay. I got it. And I thought it was really cool, and I liked doing it, and I did it. Mimi has an unspoken. Okay, Tammy. I love you too, Leanie. Okay, does anybody else have a prayer request for this week? Yeah, I thought, you've got the first and the tooth and the third and the fourth, and God's will be done and the acceptance of his decisions. Ooh, that second part's hard, Pebbles. As you know, God's will be done, but the accepting of it, that's the tough part. That's the part I had trouble with last month. Because everything came at once and I just wasn't used to it. Leanie's got an unspoken. Whoops, that one went by. Mia. Oh, in the hospital with a bladder infection. Oh, that is not good. It's bad enough getting a bladder infection, but having to go to the hospital. And Leanie says, like always, prayers to everyone who needs them. That's the best thing, isn't it? Prayers to everyone who needs them. And God knows what they all are. What we have to do is line our will up with what he wants for us. And we're assured to get it. If we want something off the wall and it's not in his will for us, there's no way we're going to get it. Or if we do get it by hook or by crook, it's never going to work out. So don't ask for things that are not in God's will for you. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. She almost died. Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. I think I told you my sister has quite a lot of problems. And when she gets an infection, she goes to her doctor and her doctor gives her antibiotics and it clears up in a week or so. And then about a month later, she's got another one. And it went on like that for 2 years. And the antibiotics killed all of the bacteria in her colon, the good and the bad. And we need bacteria in our colon to break down the rest of the matter that our stomachs didn't, or to finish the job that our stomachs didn't. And the colon especially is the one that draws the water out so that the mass becomes more solid and easily expendable. Well, if the antibiotic, if the bio, the word just went. If there's nothing in your colon to make it work, it's not going to work. It's going to die. And when they opened her up for surgery, she needed emergency surgery. And when they opened her up, her colon was black. It was dead. And had they not taken it that day, it would have gone septic and she probably would have died. So I'm very grateful for her doctor, her surgeon. While I was up there, her doctor, who had prescribed all the antibiotics, came in. And I had been out of my sister's room and was coming back in just as the doctor was coming in. And there's a little hallway that you go through, and then you turn the corner and the beds are there for privacy reasons. And I touched her arm and I said, "Are you Dr. So-and-so?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "You're my sister's doctor. I am Marilyn's sister." She said, "Oh, nice to meet you." And I said, "Well, I don't think so." because you are the doctor who gave her antibiotics for 2 years straight. And you are instrumental in killing her colon and making her have this emergency surgery, which without she would have died. So I would appreciate it if you would turn around and walk back out of the room. Do not bill her for this visit and take her off your patient roll. She will not be coming back. Well, that was that. She never got a bill. And we got her a new doctor while I was up there. I have some cankles, but we're working on that one too. Lots of good things are happening. I'm breathing much better because I have that CPAP machine, which I did not like, and Bonnie told me, baloney, it's good for you, do it, get over it. You know, Bonnie, she's just so blatant. And I also tore a bicep muscle, which what they explained was, you know, when you've got your favorite shirt or your favorite coat and you wear it all the time and the cuff begins to fray a bit, by the time you get to my age, the ends of your muscles where they connect to the bone are beginning to fray a little bit from use. And so it tore halfway through. And so now I'm doing physical therapy for that. And even though it's uncomfortable at times, I know it's getting better. I know it's helping. So as long as I stay positive and I come here on Wednesdays and Sundays and I just get my bucket filled up with love from all of you who are bringing your buckets in, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I did. I said, thank you very much, but we don't need your help anymore. Sally Stevens! And spring is here. Oh, spring. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad you're here today. We made popcorn, guys. We made popcorn today for Christmas in July. So if you would like to make popcorn for your Christmas in July, go back and watch the replay. But I strung white popcorn. We made yellow popcorn and strung it. Look at that kernel. Isn't that a beautiful kernel of popcorn? And we made a more natural popcorn. And you make a garland as long as you want and wrap it around your tree. Now, Zoila suggested using fairy lights and crocheting around the fairy lights. So when you put your garland of popcorn up, it can be lit up and seen better. I like that one. Hey, Trish. I ran over and I'm getting ready to leave, but Mia, I'll come up there. You just tell me when and I'll come up there. I can do that. Bye, Rosie. I got to go too, guys. If you missed making Christmas in July, my tutorial for KK's Christmas Extravaganza, then come back and watch the replay. And I hope that your tree is beautiful this year if you put up a tree. If you don't, you can always put up a blue Hanukkah bush and put popcorn on it because Jewish people like popcorn too. I love you all. And may God hold you close until we see each other again on Sunday. Bye, guys.